In this video, we'll look at getting started with Zuni Android and Eclipse. Before we get too far, Zuni Android does have some requirements. First, it requires that we target Android 4.0 or greater, which corresponds to API level 14 or greater. Second, it requires that we already have the Eclipse IDE or Android Studio installed. Today we'll be focusing on Eclipse. This getting started video will cover working with Zuni controls for Android development by adding Zuni packages to an Eclipse project and adding a Zuni radial gauge to an activity. Here I've opened up an Eclipse project that I previously created that doesn't have any Zuni controls added to it yet. To add the Zuni libraries to your Eclipse project, follow these steps. In the File menu, select File, New, Project Ellipses, and the New Project dialog will appear. Select the Android group, and then select Android Project from existing code, and click Next. Click the Browse button next to Root Directory and locate your Zuni controls folder for Eclipse. This should be by default in Documents, Zuni, Android, Controls, Eclipse. Select the projects that you want to import into your workspace. We'll import Core and Gauge here. Now, in the Package Explorer, right-click on your Android project and select Properties. The Project Properties window will now appear. Select Android in the left pane, and then click the Add Ellipses button at the bottom right of the window. The project selection dialog will appear. Select one project and click OK to add it to your project, and repeat this step to select the remaining projects. Click OK to close the Project Properties window. Now we can add our controls to the main activity. First, we'll modify the activity main layout file to add the control to our XML markup. We'll add an ID for the gauge, as well as some basic properties for height and width. Now that we've added the control to our markup, we can configure the code in Java in our main activity file. First, we'll want to add any import statement which we need for our Zuni controls. I'll add an import statement for the radial gauge control here. I'll also add a line of code here to ensure that the Zuni control is licensed properly. I've already generated a license key on the website and added a license class to this project. If you have any questions about how licensing works for Zuni Android, be sure to check out our other videos available on this site. Now we can find the control by the ID that we set in our layout file. We'll be able to modify some properties of the control at this point in Java. We'll set some basic properties like min, max, and value. Now that we've finished configuring the radial gauge, let's run the project to see what output we get. That's all for this Getting Started video on using Zuni and Eclipse. For more information on Zuni, be sure to check out gozuni.com. Also, check out our other Getting Started videos and stay tuned for new videos on Zuni and cross-platform mobile development.